Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneurs Institute Live. We are back. We're back. And we're doing one of my favorite segments of the show. It's the fourth Tuesday, and it is time to speak to a teen or youthpreneur. I just love this segment. I don't know about you, but I am Dr. Nicole Rankin, and I'm here, one of the co-founders of BEI, along with my partner and fellow BEI founders, Angela Hooper Minifield.
Hello, everybody. Nicole, I'm excited too. I tell you what, every month when we have these youthpreneurs, I tell my husband immediately after the show airs, I'm like, you know what? I have got to sit down with my grandson because I feel so, encouraged and motivated to help a young person start a business. So if y'all got some young kids, y'all need some help, call me. I'll adopt them.
Right. You said Dr. Nick loved the kids, but Angela loved the kids too. And it's the ladies' night. We're here ourselves, but on behalf of our other co-founders, Cedric LaFleur and Damian Johnson, we're gonna have a good time. So we're excited. I can't believe this time is really flying. This is next week. We are in the last month of the first quarter of the year. I mean, time is like waiting for nobody. So we have now 10 months, right? Whatever plans that you made back in December, you mapped out your business plan, you made your goals, you should be well on your way. We are almost in the last quarter of the first quarter of the year. So, in thinking about that, as we planning out our goals and working towards our goals, when we think about our business quarters, Angela, what are some things that entrepreneurs should be, or business owners should be doing at the end of each business quarter?
So, Nicole, this is a really good question. And this is actually something that what I'm about to talk about is something I just started implementing over the last couple of years. I had to get really serious about the quarterly check-ins, right? Because like you just said, pretty much every business owner I know sets annual goals for their business. And this year, I even tried to be a little bit more methodical about it. So not only in how much income or revenue did I want to generate, but also how many people did I want to serve and in what areas? So to get really clear and then break that down into quarterly goals. And so as we look for March to be here again next week, right? We have to start seeing, where are we in that first quarter? Are we lagging? Are we matching those goals? Are we leading them, right? But no matter what the result is, keep the gas down, right? Keep the momentum. Right. Because what we know is we pay attention to what we track. And you can't track everything. So get really clear about what are those one or two things that are going to be game changers for your business. Track those things and then use the end of, as we move into March to see where you are and where you want it to be and realize you got 31 days, right? March has 31 days to catch up. And then the other thing I'm going to say is if you need a little help, a little accountability, some support, thinking partner, I know just the place for you. Because the first week of April, we will be starting, Nicole, I can't hardly believe this either, but cohort number 4?
4.
Oh my God. It's hard to believe. Cohort number 4, right?
Yes.
And we elevate mindset and money of minority business owners, but all business owners. So if you're one of those people who thought, right, because you deceived yourself, you thought you could do it by yourself, but you see February's about over and you still haven't made any traction, I need you to seriously consider joining the boot camp and allowing us to take your business to that next level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Those are great tips. And a lot of times we negate that quarterly check in and just to see how our plans are going, because there may be an option that we need to adjust the plans, right? We always talk about keeping the goal the same, but being flexible with the plan. So that is a great, and of course, BEI, we are here for you. Join our next cohort. It has been amazing. I can't believe we're in our fourth cohort.
Like we're having graduation next week.
Right. It's amazing. It's amazing the things that you can do when you collaborate and have like vision and be around people who have like-mindedness that want to serve and help people. It has been an amazing journey to be on this journey with you all. Awesome. So, guys, we are excited to have another. I mean, we've had some amazing young people in our entrepreneur segment. So we're not going to disappoint you again. Of course not. So we are excited to bring another amazing youthpreneur who is truly blazing the trail. So like many middle schoolers, Mason Wright, our guest, he's into video games. He loves science, but one particular after school activity that sets him apart from all of his peers is that he is the owner and operator of a street vending hot dog business called Mason Superdog, which specializes in handcrafted hot dogs and French fries. And the amazing thing about Mason is that, as a business owner, he became the youngest restaurant owner in his state of Georgia. So we are excited to welcome Mr. Mason Wright to the BEI show. Welcome, Mason.
Hello.
Hey, Mason. That's pretty impressive, man.
Thank you.
Superstar, super dogs and superstar. Awesome. So welcome, Mason. So let's talk about your business. Tell people, how did you get to your journey and why you started your business?
Well, the reason why I started my business was when my mom said, because I had a love for science kits, I was really into robotics. Mm-hmm. The robotics kits that were on my level, they were getting up to $200, $300. And my mom said, I'm not paying for this anymore. You're going to have to get your own kits. And that's when I started looking around town. When we went to the grocery store, I asked, could I have a job? They all said no, I was too young. Mm-hmm. And that got me a little bummed out. But that's when I knew I could be my own businessman. So with the help of my friends, I started doing odd jobs around my neighborhood, like washing cars, mowing lawns, and walking dogs. Especially the dog part was not working out for me. I didn't know little chihuahuas could be so mean.
Yeah.
The big dogs were not the problem. It was the little ones that were always causing issues with everyone else. So had to stop those jobs. Then on a trip to New York City with my sister, and in Times Square, all you saw was hot dog carts and superheroes. Then once we waited in this super long line for one of the famous New York hot dogs. After we went back to the hotel, I said I could take this business concept back to Atlanta, and I did. That's when the name Mason Superdogs was born. I took all the money that I had left and I put it into buying a little hot dog cart. After doing that, I did birthday parties, bar mitzvahs on the occasion, field days on schools. And then after that, on my birthday, my grandpa matched me for a New York style hot dog cart. Then I went on the campus of Morehouse and tried out for the Shark Tank. I got super nervous because I was the only kid entrepreneur there, so I messed it up a little bit, but it's okay. Because as I was walking towards the bookstore, I saw the president of Morehouse, and like a superhero, I walked up to him, told him my pitch, and he said, as long as I have all A's, I can sell on his campus. And that was a really fun experience. And there was a lot of good people on the campuses. I learned about vegan hot dogs from people from Spelman and Clark, Atlanta. We're coming to my hot dog stand to get some lunch. That I didn't know what a vegan hot dog was at that time. I Googled it, searched it, looked for the type of vegan hot dog I wanted to sell. After I finally found the one I wanted, I noticed I had a lot more foot traffic because I had vegan hot dogs. Then out of the blue, I think on like a Saturday, I got an email from PETA saying that, hey, you won the number 5 spot in the nation for best tasting vegan hot dog. Was very confused, very happy, and very energetic. And after that, COVID-19 hit. So instead of getting a food truck, we had to pivot, and we got a restaurant instead on my birthday. Funny story. We were supposed to go to Chick-fil-A for my birthday because I got the restaurant. My sister got the restaurant before my birthday, and when my birthday came, we're supposed to go get a Chick-fil-A. Instead of going to Chick-fil-A, I got keys to a restaurant.
Wow.
It's really exciting. Still wanted the Chick-fil-A though, but that's okay. I'm trying to replace.
You can get Chick-fil-A anytime. You can't get keys to a restaurant anytime.
That's true. That is very true. And that is how my journey got started. And I'm looking for another location in Atlanta where there's a lot of foot traffic and a very, very good amount of tourists. I'm trying to go to be a tourist attraction.
I love it.
So this is a phenomenal story, and I'm just sitting here listening, and like I said, I'm highly impressed. So congratulations. And it's such a blessing to have supportive family, as you clearly do, sister, grandparents, parents. But Mason, what I don't know, and I think our audience would like to know too, is exactly how old are you?
Oh, I am 14. In 1 month, I will be 15.
So how old were you when you started the business?
I was 9 years old.
All right.
Wow.
So that's pretty impressive, highly, highly impressive. And again, you may have heard me say before we brought you on stage that every time we have youthpreneurs on, I'm so motivated. I have a grandson that's 10 going on 11. And so, when I hear how young other people start, it really does inspire me to want to, ensure that I'm tapping into the things that interest him. So let me ask you this question. How does it actually feel to be the youngest restaurant owner in the state of Georgia?
It feels amazing. It's a very great honor. A thing that I didn't know that was going to happen, even when I don't wear my merchandise and I walk into the store with a mask on, they know who I am. I didn't know that was going to happen. That's really cool.
Okay, so lesson to all our young entrepreneurs, and even maybe not so young. Some of your anonymity may be lost,
right?
when you become a business owner, because people will recognize you. I think it's so cool that you listen to your audience, and as you were, or your clients, I should say, with the vegan hot dog phenomenal, and now here you are, one of the top 5 vegan hot dog providers. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. I love that. And when you said that when COVID hit, you had to make some changes, right? You made some pivots. So what has been the most impactful thing to you and your business during this time of crisis?
The most impactful thing would be the community coming out and supporting me. There's a bunch of people every day, really long lines. We try to get everyone their food as fast as possible and delicious as possible. And it's been a very great experience.
I love that. I love that. So when you think about, all that you're doing, you started out as 9, you're 14 years old, about to be 15 next month. So happy early birthday.
Thank you.
where does your inspiration come on? Who inspires you the most and why?
My inspiration comes from all my mentors and my mom, because she's my superhero.
I love it.
I love that.
Shut you up, Mom.
Hey, as a mama, I know that makes her heart smile to hear you say that. And I have no doubt, just even in the quick, time we got to meet her before tonight's show, I can tell she is definitely a great supporter of you and a mentor. So let's hear a little bit more about Mason. So what's your favorite subject in school and why is that?
My favorite subject in school would be science, since I'm homeschooled, and it's doing a lot of robotics.
Okay. Robotics as science.
Yes, sometimes we get to do RC cars. See, like, trajectory and stuff.
I love that. I love it. So when you think about you're into robotics, so what are your plans that you foresee after high school? What is it that you want to do?
The plans would be to go to Morehouse College and have a Mason Super Dogs all over Atlanta and all over Stonecrest.
Oh.
I like that. And I have no doubt, just based on your level of engagement at Morehouse already and keeping those A's so you can keep selling on campus, that they would love to have you as a student there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious about I'm actually on your website while we're talking, just so you know, because you piqued my interest with a couple of things you said. And so it's clear that you have definitely found a niche. And so one of the things that we talk to business owners about all the time is the fact that if you're serving everyone, you're serving no one. And what we see very clearly on your website is your niche is exactly as is in the title, right? You sell hot dogs. You sell different types of hot dogs, but you sell hot dogs. So how have you managed, because I'm sure there have been opportunities for you to venture and to add other things, maybe not as related, but because somebody said this sells well, to your menu. How have you managed to remain focused and clear on exactly what you want your niche to be?
That's a really good question. How I did it was to make sure that our hot dogs are gourmet. Each hot dog is better than the last hot dog. And we do experiment all the time with different hot dogs. And we're trying a different hot dog. I just have to see if my mom will try it.
As he glances across the room.
Right.
So I think that's really great that while you're still researching, all of your research though is still about hot dogs, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that about how you have found what you're good at and you are really leveraging that.
I love it. I love it. And as somebody who was born in New York, so I grew up on hot dogs. So I'm well familiar with those hot dogs. I can't believe I ate out of some of those hot dog trucks on the street waiting for them. Looking back, but I spent my younger years eating those hot dogs with sauerkraut. That's my favorite. It has to have sauerkraut and mustard. So in thinking about if you can list two or three things that can help other budding young person just like yourself that were interested in entrepreneurship, what things would you tell them that they should do?
I would say just to do it. Don't wait. Just go ahead and start. And I would also say it's not going to be easy. Sometimes it will be difficult, but just keep doing it. Because when you do what you love, you never work a day in your life.
All right now.
Okay.
Look, you preaching today, Mason. All right.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. When you navigated during COVID to a physical restaurant, that clearly suggests, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you unlike so many entrepreneurs who are more of a one-man show, one woman show, a solopreneur, now you have people who work for you, right? Because they got to open and close the restaurant. You got people in the back cooking. I mean, you have a team. How does it feel knowing that, like, at 14 years old, you have a full-blown business and people who work for you? And how have you navigated that?
A lot of communication, and just sitting everybody down, having a staff meeting every now and then, making sure everybody's doing their best.
I'm just so impressed. Like,
I
I
know.
know people my age who can't sit down and have a staff meeting. So let's just say you're highly impressive.
Absolutely. So Mason, you mentioned and you spoke a lot about, even the things that you would share with other young people that, one, just to get started, and two, that it is difficult. A lot of times when you look at entrepreneurship, people focus on the end result and see just a great business and all the success that you're having. But the road to entrepreneurship is really difficult and really hard. So how do you stay motivated? What do you do to keep pushing past those obstacles and challenges that you face as a young entrepreneur?
I would say listen to some music when you wake up. Some inspirational music.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I love that.
Then write on a with a dry erase marker, a dry erase board. Write a positive affirmation. Look at the affirmation, recite the affirmation, and then hopefully, if that one doesn't work, write 3 more and then recite 3 more positive affirmations.
I love it. The value of positive thinking and positive self-talk.
Yeah.
So if you could think, and I know a lot of times as an adult, we often want to try to figure out, like, how can we help young people? So if you could list 2 or 3 things that adults can do to help your generation based on where you are currently, what would you say that would be?
I would say spend time and not buy time.
All right. I like that.
Spend time and not buy time. What is that? Can you expound on that? What does that mean to you?
What it means to me is, instead of taking your kid and going to areas where you spend money and they're having fun, just talk to them. Like, say, hey, how are you doing? Good morning. Just those little things, just spending time with them will really make a difference.
Wow. That's just a powerful notes coming from a young person, just to spend time, and it goes to show that we live in that busy society where we're always working and busy and moving, that sometimes we just need to be still and spend time. I love that. I love that. So when you think about all that you're doing and as an entrepreneur, setting yourself apart from your competition and what in your market, what are some of the things that unique qualities that kind of set you apart from the crowd?
The unique qualities, I would say, that we would use the purple cow concept.
Okay.
That we have a field of cows. You want your cow to stand out from everybody else's. So that's why we do gourmet hot dogs, and we always want to push to be better.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's very true, because it could be 1,000 people doing the same thing that you're doing, but the person who has found a way to do it uniquely and do it better than everybody else, that'll be the one that survives. So no, I love that you said that. So, still as a young person, right? You have, I'm sure, friends you like to hang out with, cousins, relatives. How have you found and I don't quite call it balance, because I've never been a proponent of the word balance. I think it's more like harmony. There are certain seasons in life that one requires more of you than the other. But how have you managed to be present in both areas of your life?
Closing at 6, like a athlete would do. That would be going to school and going to practice and then getting off. And then my mom would give me a day off to relax and to be a kid. But I could do other things.
And what are those other things when Mason is being a kid? What is Mason doing?
Riding a ATV birthday gift from his sister, or practicing archery that I would say that I'm pretty good at now.
Awesome. I love that archery. That's different. I love that. And it's important to have that use that word, but have the balance between, being an entrepreneur and really just being present and enjoying the life that you have as a teenager. So Mason, you mentioned, and I wanted to go back about something that you said and just talk about the importance of you talked about your mentors and your role models. Just how important has that been to you in this journey of having a mentor? What did they mean to you and how did they help you?
They helped me a lot. Like one of my mentors, Mr. Rashad Ritchie, he is a talk show host, and he helped me not be so shy and really talk to people and do speeches. Another mentor would have to be Mr. Telly. He helped me with business and how to be a boss. And Mr. J, he is one of my favorite mentors. Don't tell anyone else that. And he's helped me with business, with my goals. What do I want to do? He's helped me really be me.
Mm-hmm. That's important. I love it.
Yeah, and I love that you have multiple mentors. So often people think they need to have one mentor, find a mentor. But what you're modeling is that different people have different strengths and skills. And so when we're able to see someone doing something the way that we would like to do it in various areas, those are great opportunities to build a mentor-mentee relationship. So what we know from earlier is that you also have a pet. So was that some of the impetus to starting the dog walking business because you had a dog yourself and you thought that might be something you would enjoy doing for other people?
Yes, he is a very small dog. He inspired me to do the dog walking business. I thought all small dogs would be nicer, and big dogs would be nice. Turns out it was the other way around. My neighborhood has a lot of small little dogs, not a whole lot of big ones. So it was a struggle in the summer walking those little chihuahuas. Little chihuahuas.
But what I like so much about the story, which is the part of the reason why I brought it up, is when the first business idea wasn't, while we had great thinking in the beginning, like this would be something I'd really like to do as a pet owner, you found out very quickly that it wasn't, but you didn't use that to deter you or to say, maybe I shouldn't try to have a business. You instead continue to keep your thinking open. And like you said, on a trip with your sister, and there you go, you're in New York, and it's like, this idea came to you. And so I say all that to say, for people, whether they're young or older, that have tried and failed, what would you say to them based on how your journey has progressed to encourage them?
Don't give up. Just keep pushing. Keep going. Doing what you love to do.
I love that. This simple, short and simple, right? Don't give up. And that's the thing about I always say about entrepreneurs. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is this successful just doesn't quit, right? And they do the things that the unsuccessful person or entrepreneur doesn't do, right? And not willing to do. So I love that even at your age, you have that positive stance to say that I am not going to quit. I love what I do. I love that. Mason, you're just an inspiration to me, and I'm sure to everyone that is listening. So if I were to have a book that named after you, what would be the title and what will be the summary of the book about you?
I would say the title would have to be Mason Superdog's Adventures. Be a very good book. It would have to be a comic book so we can sell multiple issues. Yeah. Make a lot of money.
I love it. Always thinking like a businessman.
And so are there particular adventures that you know for a fact would be a part of this series of comic books?
Yes, I am actually starting a comic book series.
Oh, wow.
I'm just looking for the right type of art. We have everything written out, the story, plot, all of that. And you can get each page coming soon to Mason Superdogs in your bag. You have to collect all the bags to get one book.
I love
Strategic and intentional.
I love it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Speaking of comics, I am starting a comic book club. If anyone would like to join, it is on my Instagram and on my Facebook.
That's great. We should let's scroll that so everybody can actually follow Mason and Mason Superdogs. And so you're starting a club.
Yes. You can come to our club. We do Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, Magic of the Gathering, and Dungeons and Dragons for a small fee.
Small investment, right? Small investment.
Absolutely.
I so love it. And that's really what entrepreneurs do, right? We see a need and then we meet it. And also creating a buyer's journey, right? So, and giving people who may not be local to Georgia an opportunity to get connected to your body of work.
I love that. So Mason, how can people get in contact with you? And either if they're local, and do you have an online process as well?
Yes, you can go to masonsuperdogs.com. That's where you can find on our website. You can find the information and our location, and you can follow my Instagram at Mason Superdogs and Facebook at Mason Superdogs. MASONSUPERSDOGS.
Awesome.
So it's two S's between Mason and Superdogs.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll make sure we put that right in the comments, and we can edit that right there as well on our screen. So I got one last question for you, Mason, before we bring on your mom to join us. And so, again, already 14, been in business since you were 9. As you think about, your goals, and I know you say you have some mentors that are helping you with that, what do you see your life looking like maybe even in 10 years from now as you get ready to approach 25 years old? Have you thought anything about that?
Yes, I would like to have a Mason Superdogs all over the world, and dozens of them all over the world, helping fellow entrepreneurs in my community, and having a full album of comic books, and moving my mom into a very nice home.
Gotta take care of mama.
I love it. I love it. Now, speaking of mama, we know you talked about that she is your superhero. So we would love to just spend some the last few minutes just chatting with her, just to talk about and just hear about all the things that she has done to help you get to where you are. So we want to welcome Mrs. Wright to the BEI show.
1 second, trying to get my chair the fishing poles behind me.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
Oh God, the desk. Okay, I'm trying next. 1 moment. I told him. Be careful of the mic. Okay, can you guys see me?
Hey, Mom.
Hello. Awesome. Well, welcome to the BEI. We're excited. Your son is amazing.
Yes.
We have had a great time chatting with him, but we know that he doesn't do it alone, right? So I love the fact that he called you his superhero. So my first question is when did you I love it. So when did you realize that he had a business idea? He told us the story that you told him that he had to fend for himself. Like, how did that come about?
Well, Mason was finishing all of his. First of all, I'm very shy. Let me just put that out there. So forgive me if I get too nervous. But Mason would finish all of his. He was homeschooled. All my children have been homeschooled, and he was so finishing those kits. I would try to give him higher kits, different kits, chemistry kits, and he would just finish them. And I was like, wait a minute, you are spending a month like $600 a month on science kits. You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go out and start earning some of this money for these kits, right? And so I was just saying it in a way that, you know how we say, you know how parents say something, the kids are always listening, right? So he really took what I said to heart. And next thing you know, we're at the Walmart and he's asking the lady, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I if I bag these groceries, how much can I make?" You know? And so the lady said, "You're too young. You can't get a job here. You're too young." And so then he was thinking, and in the backseat of the car, he said, "You know what, Mom? I'm going to be my own business. I'm going to start and be an entrepreneur myself because nobody's giving me a job." And so I said, okay. And one of the things being a homeschool teacher, way before everybody was homeschool, everybody's homeschool, right? Is that my kids would finish their work so fast, right? And then I'm like, what am I going to do next? So I started incorporating community service. I started incorporating a project that you had to do, whether that be art, whether that be entrepreneurship, whatever, you had to do a project every 30 days and to research it, study it. And so Mason started studying entrepreneurship, right? Like he said, mentioned the purple cow concept. And he was telling me about the purple cow concept, right? And telling me different things from different people. And then that's how he met his mentors. Through homeschooling, reaching out to him and say, "Hey, listen, I want to be an entrepreneur. I'm extremely shy. I need to do public speaking. Would you help me? Would you be my mentor?" And Rashad Ritchie from the radio station, right? He said yes. So he's been spending time with Mason in that regard. Then as for Jay Bailey, he mentioned, am I talking too much?
Oh, no.
No, you're good. We're listening.
As for Jay Bailey,
awesome.
He is over at the Russell Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. He's a director over there for Herman Russell's building. And so Mason sought out the most famous Black entrepreneur that has come from Georgia, which was Herman Russell. So but Mr. Russell passed away, right? And so he said, but his kids, and he has his director, so he sent them an email. And so Mr. Bailey has been there ever since that journey. For the last 4 years, he's been with Mason. Any business plan, anything Mason has a question with, they make time for him. And I'm so blessed that they do make time for him. So it's just having good people. It's just requiring more for our kids. The reason why I started even homeschooling my children was because when I walked into I started homeschooling my daughter because, she was traveling all over
the world doing what she does. I have 2 phenomenal kids, you are really. Google her. But anyway,
well, tell us about her.
Tell about her too.
What's her name?
Her name is Mary Pat Hector. While she is older than Mason, definitely she was the youngest woman and person of color in the state of Georgia at 19 to run for office. So, I mean, it's only been through homeschooling when I put my I know some people love public school, and they probably can do great things in public school, but I just found that sometimes when you're homeschooled, that your spirit isn't killed. And what I mean by that is my daughter has been always outspoken, right? Some people would call that loud. But so when a teacher, and she's confident, she's been always confident. And so teachers would call me to the classroom and she would say, well, your daughter is telling people that Santa Claus is not real.
I mean,
your daughter is telling kids that the stork does not bring the baby. And so I was like, oh my goodness. And then one teacher even called and said that she's too familiar speaking with grown people. And I said, what does that mean? And
I'm laughing because literally everything that you're just saying, I got the same thing about my child.
So do you see what I'm saying? And so when they said that, I said, so familiar with, so tell me what she did wrong. And she just was agitated because my child had confidence. And so I said, you know what, this just isn't the place for her. So I started homeschooling her. And then Mason, he didn't want to be homeschooled when he was younger. He wanted to go to school. So I sent him to school, but because he was so polite, he started getting all A's and not earning those A's. And I was like, this is a problem here. Well, I can't even see, how are you getting A's? So after me spending time in the classroom, and I saw my son sitting in the back table. And when I saw that whole group of kids in the back table and the teacher not paying attention, and even though I was there in the classroom, you still not paying attention to the back table, I knew that I had to take my son from that back table. And it has not been easy. It is definitely a sacrifice for our family. Me and his dad have definitely, because it is a sacrifice to homeschool children. The parents, my heart goes out to all the parents who are learning how to do it now or navigate it now. But if you can do it, it is such a blessing. Like he knows now. I was sitting here about to cry, you all, because at first, when I would make my kids do those positive affirmations every morning and listen to the music, they thought I was crazy. They didn't want to do it. They thought it was a punishment. But now he gets up and he's like, what can I say today? What do I put on the mirror today? And if you know how you would get in the car and talk to your kids, say, what are you doing today? How was your day? They literally listened to me and told me how their day was, right? And then if I ever missed a day, he said, I was like, why you look so sad? He said, you forgot to ask me how my day was.
Wow.
It really does matter. And for the kids who are not used to doing it, I would say, make them tell you how their day was, what went on. I found out so much about my kids, about their friends, what they might be going through, how I can help their friends if I can, just by simply asking that question every day. And then when he said, don't spend time, don't buy time, I love that. Oh my gosh. It's like when you hear that, it's like, right. Yeah. And so if I would give any advice to parents, I would just have to say, just really, even at first, it's going to be something strange and new if you're not traditionally used to saying, how was your day? What did you do today? What do you want to do tomorrow? Just really speaking to them, honestly listening and speaking to them. My kids tell me absolutely everything. Some of the things I'm not ready for. My daughter's 22 now, and some of the things I'm not really ready for. But she does still tell me everything. And so I'm just so happy. I'm so happy for this program. I'm happy for your listeners. And thank you all so much for having me.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. And we see this, every month when we bring on young people. We have met some of the most phenomenal young people, and Mason is no exception, but it always goes back to the parents, right? It always does. And so we salute you. Great job.
Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. So, as what you have said has just been golden, what would you say to the parents out there, in nurturing a child, a young entrepreneur that maybe their child wants to explore? And, a lot of times when your child comes and say, I want to start a business, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, you're too young. What would you say to that parent, get advice for them?
I would tell them when your child comes and they express a desire to do something, to help them, give them the tools. And if you don't have the tools, that's okay, because we have this internet thing out here, and there are so many people in whatever field that they want to go to that will reach back and help. I would say so do your due diligence and let your child know, I hear you. And if it's a money situation or a money thing, there's still ways around it, right? There's still ways around it. So I would say keep going and listen to them and just support them.
That's great advice. That's great advice. Well, on behalf of the Black Entrepreneurs Institute, let me just say again, Mason, you are a joy, and it has been an honor and a privilege to meet you. I'm in New Jersey, so when I do come back to Georgia, I do plan to visit your restaurant because I want to support you. But again, we have the website is below the screen, as well as our ambassadors are posted it in the comments. So, viewers of the BEI show, make sure you go by, visit Mason's business, also visit his website. If you got young people who are interested in joining his club for comics and games and other things that I didn't know as much about because I wasn't familiar, but I know the people who your target audience does, feel free to go to his website and do that. And Mom, again, thank you so much for sharing your son with us, and as well a little bit of yourself and your parenting style. It has been our pleasure to have you guys.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, you are
absolutely. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Again, we'll wrap up. As Angela, you want to talk about as we coming to our close. It's always sad to get, because I want to ask some more questions, but I know our time is coming to an end. So we have our boot camp coming up. Angela, you want to talk more about that and let people know what's coming up for BEI?
Yes, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, but of course, in case you joined a little later, look, April, the next boot camp is opening. We will actually have our graduation for cohort number 3 on next week. And so again, the Black Entrepreneurs Institute Business Boot Camp for minority-owned business owners is all about helping minority-owned business owners take that business to the next level. There are a lot of people who have done an amazing job, and Mason is a perfect example, even at a young age. But guess what we also know? The statistics and the numbers tell us that on average, businesses owned by minorities do not make the same amount of money or have the same lifespan as those owned by non-minorities. Specifically, when it comes to businesses owned by minority women. Women of color tend to earn 4 times less than their non-minority counterparts when it comes to businesses. We have purposed ourselves to be a part of the solution versus a conveyor of just statistics. So the Black Entrepreneurs Institute, again, is having its next boot camp. The link to enroll should be in the comments. You can join, and by the end of the second quarter of 2021, see yourself taking your business to a higher level. Again, there are courses, there's community, there's camaraderie, there's an affinity group, there are tools and resources, simulations, you name it, we got it. Now, it is a boot camp, so that means we are ready to whip you into shape. So it's not for the faint of heart. Right. So, but if you're really interested in taking that business to the next level, I highly implore you and encourage you to join, because we want to serve and help you.
I love that. And again, we're going on our 4th cohort, right? And so just seeing the outcome that has been going from our first boot camp to now, and just seeing the business owners progress in their business, have some great outcomes. And truly, as we say, we're here to elevate the mindset and money. And we see that results from week 1 to week 8. It's just an amazing experience. So I'm excited about our next cohort that's going to come up in April. So you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it and be a part of it, right? So we thank you guys for joining us today at BEI. Again, thank you for the EL community. You know, they're coming up. Make sure you watch the candle lighting that's coming up afterwards. And we'll be back again next week with another amazing guest. And don't forget, the replay is going to play on Sunday at 3 p.m. If you missed it, you want to make sure you get it and take notes, because Mason is amazing, and we'll continue to bring you the goods to help you in your business. So thank you, and we'll see you again.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.